Today we'll be discussing Monsterous Anomaly 01, derived Dopey Bird Phoenix Man. Subject first appeared in Chapter 58 in the Assault on City S. MA-01 is a large bipedal bird with a large wingspan. It also has hands that can freely move within the suit. Phoenix Man consists of two entities, the actor and the costume. So for security references, the costume will be referred to as MA-01A. The first time the actor encountered the costume was on the hit TV show Animal Kingdom. He was cast for the role of Dopey Bird, a character who, through comedic folly, died every episode, only to be revived in the following episode as if nothing had occurred. The humiliation from his superiors made his work extremely detestable. After finally being fired from the job, we don't have more information on what happened after that. But at a certain point, the actor was no longer able to remove the costume. This is the point where he began displaying anomalous traits. The actor is an ambitious individual with superior intellect and a tenacious but strategic will. His main drive after his transformation has been to become the King of Monsters, in reference to Orochi and the current Monster Association. He even proposed to outfit his rise to power with Cadres and the association itself. The costume, as far as recorded, did not show any anomalous traits before encountering the actor. We are currently investigating whether factors such as extreme emotional displays by the actor and excessive trauma of constant death every episode led to the animation of the costume. Once animated, the costume has displayed numerous anomalous properties. We will be referring to these powers as traits of MA-01 Phoenix Man, instead of just being of the costume, as it can currently be deduced that, without a host, the costume is just a costume. MA-01 Phoenix Man is the unity of the actor and the costume. It's shown the ability to fly at acceptably fast speeds, as shown when surprising the heroes who were escorting the incapacitated Waganma and Narinki, as well as in the rescue of MA-0X Goro. Offensively, he only used a beak attack, while in his Dopey Bird form, that could not pierce through Child Emperor's invisible wall, a transparent trauma-resistant film. He can also create large gusts of wind with his large wings. The primary capability of Phoenix Man seems to be resurrection. With each resurrection, Phoenix Man gains an excessive amplification of power as well as new abilities. His appearance also changes with each resurrection. It also seems as if the more you succeed in killing him, the quicker he's able to resurrect, as shown with the difference in the two resurrection periods that we saw. Phoenix Man was first killed using shearing and stabbing force by Child Emperor's superior tech. After its first death, MA-01 is referred to as Phoenix Man Resurrected. MA-01 exposes the arms of the actor and covers his chest and limbs in feathered armor. The actor also exposes his original face from the mouth of the costume. His wingspan seems to increase along with the size of his claws. The costume produces an eye at the center of the chest plate that has similar functions to every other ocular organ, all of which seem to function independently. MA-01 showed excessive speed and evasiveness by avoiding several of the assaults from missiles and the Delta Saber from Child Emperor's Brave Giant. The use of Phoenix Flares, a projectile feather flare, and obstacles to maneuver around allowed him to avoid several fatal blows. His amplified speed and power were also made apparent when he flew through 5 layers of the invisible wall film previously stated. In this form, he can also release fire wind with the flap of his wings. Unlike in the Dopey Bird state, he has the ability to freely expose his face in the suit, or seal the beak for a direct attack. He uses strategy and is often scheming and analyzing throughout the fight. It has also displayed the ability to transform into a speed and power variant of the Resurrection. These two forms can be utilized in any current state of Resurrection, whether it be the first or second. First is the speed form, referred to as Phoenix Fire Falcon mode. This variant increases his speed and cutting ability dramatically. Using his improved agility in tandem with his Phoenix Heat Talon strike, he was able to pierce through the armor of Brave Giant. He was also easily able to weave through a volley from Child Emperor's head cannon that was firing high caliber rounds at a rate of several hundreds per second. For a portion of the confrontation, he was flying circles around Brave Giant without response, further expressing the amplification in speed. This Falcon variant also has an attack called Phoenix Homing Feathers, which are several projectile feathers that can alter their course mid-flight, travel at high speeds, and with enough force to push the Brave Giant itself back. This attack also cracked the shell of the Umbrella Shield given to Waganma. Second is the power form, referred to as Phoenix Prominence Hawk mode. This form was displayed when Child Emperor outmaneuvered Phoenix Man using his little Braves. After releasing an attack called All Range Attack, which were several extreme heat energy beams that were staggered on surrounding sides and at various angles and distances to ensure the target could not escape, the Prominence variant then absorbed all of the high energy beam attacks. He then expelled the absorbed energy and heat in a great omnidirectional gust attack. He was also able to absorb the electrical discharge from the paralysis trap laid down by the Braves. Those were the first and second absorption feats of the Phoenix Prominence form. After the second resurrection, which applied and amplified several new and existing traits that will be discussed in the following, the Prominence variant also managed to partially absorb and tank a direct head-on assault from a fully powered-up Millennium Emperor Nova. This feat seemingly describes his maximum absorption limit and what occurs after this point. The Prominence form was described as a power variant because of this next feat as well. Child Emperor utilized the assault from his little Braves to distract Phoenix Man. He then fell from above and hit Phoenix Man using a super vibration blade from the Brave Giant. MA-01's improved reflexes and excessive strength allowed him to catch the blade and halt the tremendous force being applied by the vibrating motor within the blade's hilt and the downward force of Brave Giant itself, after which he snapped the blade in half. The Prominence variant can also distribute heat all around its body, as seen when blocking the giant fist strike from Brave Giant, where he began to melt its armor mid-struggle. Child Emperor required the removal of the limiter on the Brave Giant's thrusters in order to overpower MA-01 in an almost unprecedented display of physical force. The second resurrection of MA-01 is referred to as Phoenix Diamond Eagle mode. The costume loses its armor plating and converts to a skin-tight bodysuit. Pointed shoulder blades are uniform and may possibly be organic instead of exterior armor like the previous state. The head of the costume is also altered to resemble an eagle, while also exposing the actor's face. His wings take on a different shape, and he also has a second pair. His chest plate also contains 3 additional ocular organs that retain the previously stated properties. This transformation yielded additional speed and power amplifications. This became immediately apparent when MA-01 caught a direct thrust from an electrically charged beam chisel of Brave Giant. He also flared his speed when he ripped apart Brave Giant's arm before he was able to react. The previous Heat Talon strike was only able to pierce Brave Giant's armor. But in a diamond variant, a single swipe is all that was required. After the Brave Giant lost its power source, the Eagle variant was able to easily claw apart the Gundam. MA-01's primary capability in the Phoenix Diamond Eagle mode seems to be resurrecting the dead. Using a technique called New King Awakening Light, MA-01 starts to shine brightly, illuminating his entire environment. We have very little information on this process, but it seems that any dead organism exposed to this radiation will have their bodies reconstituted and revived to their previous state of living, which we will refer to as MA-01B. We don't know how much exposure to the light is required, but it seems that the farther you are from the source, the longer it may take to reanimate, as seen when the ninja duo entered the battle much later than the subterraneans underwater. Instances of MA-01B also don't remember the moments of their previous death. The resurrection seems to be complete and perfect, as subjects don't show any cognitive issues, and their physical abilities aren't tarnished and work as well as they did before fatal injury. MA-01B instances show complete obedience to MA-01 and reflect his intentions as soon as they're reanimated. MA-01B instances can be killed by logical means, and their extended existence isn't necessarily tethered to the lifespan of Phoenix Men, as seen when the ninja duo MA-0X and MA-0X Hellfire and Galewind remained alive after the alleged final defeat of Phoenix Men. They also seem to regain their free will if and or when the actor dies. In debriefing the battle data that Child Emperor sent, we were able to discern an explanation for the New King's Awakening Light. Apparently, MA-01A told the actor that when he activates his life energy to the limit, radiates it out, it will awaken simulated life activities. This information has caused the association to create Protocol P-01A Grave Robber to avoid a low potential apocalyptic scenario. Monster containment procedures. MA-01 must not be killed by any means. Depending on the state in which he is first encountered, procedures will adjust accordingly. If MA-01 is found in the Adobe Bird state, initial procedures will focus on detainment, and then containment, and finally, removal of the suit in an isolated facility. The primary detainment method is an electrostatic shock, as seen when Child Emperor was able to paralyze MA-01 in its resurrected state momentarily. Strict monitoring of the current produced by paralysis devices is required to ensure accidental death of MA-01 is not permitted. Application of current must be staggered and not continuous to avoid fatalities. Removal or critical damage to the wings of MA-01 is recommended by any means acceptable to ensure reduced mobility. MA-01 hasn't shown the ability to regenerate, so well-placed injuries and paralyzing sedatives should be effective. Standard mobile containment cells, coated with Child Emperor's invisible wall film, are to be used in the final containment and transportation of MA-01. Separating the actor from the costume will be completed by following these procedures. Store a mobile containment cell on floor B-150 below the association headquarters. Gaseous sedatives are to be pumped continuously into the cell until MA-01 is confirmed immobile. Restrain MA-01 to titanium steel table in quarantine room on floor 150B. 5 A-rank heroes are recommended to be in the room and prepared to detain MA-01 in case of resistance to sedatives and or a resurrection. Surgically carve open MA-01's beak and then cut down the throat and midsection. Pull apart MA-01A at the seams to expose the actor. Extract the actor and escort him to a separate containment cell. Seal away MA-01A in a separate floor as the actor. If MA-01A is encountered in a resurrected state, all responding forces are to be briefed on appropriate containment procedures before being allowed to intervene. All heroes responding to the call are also to be equipped with paralyzing equipment while they attempt to incapacitate MA-01. No heroes below A class rank 10 are permitted on site. If containment of MA-01 extends to longer than 1 hour, all command stations are to send alerts to Child Emperor.
Information File Debriefing, P01X. The following report was compiled using Child Emperor's battle data. Phoenix Man mentioned that MA-01A explained and encouraged the usage of its abilities, in particular, New King Awakening Light. This suggests that communication with MA-01A may be responsible for more than originally believed. The fact that this action led to the resurrection of underlings, and the ambitious statements that MA-01 has said since uniting with the costume leads me to believe that MA-01A may be responsible for Phoenix Man's goals. We don't have information that tells us his previous level of ambition while being on Animal Kingdom, so this protocol will be discontinued until further info surfaces. Information while P01X is to be revisited in the case of an organized resurrection event. Should P01X become valid, Protocol 1A Grave Robber will be in effect. Protocol 1A Grave Robber. Organized resurrection event, MA-01's danger potential increases around highly populated areas, as he is able to kill and then revive those who kill. The longer he remains uncontained, the larger his potential to reach apocalyptic status. Grave Robber will only become active if MA-01 shows clear intentions of an organized resurrection event, and will not be cleared until requirement H has been met. Protocol requirements. A. Do not kill MA-01. B. Isolate MA-01. C. High security opaque mobile containment cell. D. Opaque body armor for any operating heroes. E. Electrical paralysis equipment for all heroes. F. If on station, heroes fail to complete requirements A or B, requirement G is cleared for usage. G. Summon Brave Giant. H. Contain separated suit.